Hi there, Natalie with you today with a new process video for Altenew. And this time I'm going to show you a project created with the Precious Peony stamp set. And this stamp set is one that you want to add to your stash because it's a beautiful image that you can actually create different images using different mediums. So for this, I am actually going to use watercolor, but I'm going to start by creating my background. And I wanted something really delicate but graphic. So my idea is I'm going to use the Gilded Ombre washi tape. I really love the shades of purple with the little line of gold through it. And you're going to see that I'm going to attach it to a piece of smooth cardstock. I'm going to double-side it because I want to have that purple line running through the middle of my die cut. And my idea is create a panel larger than the die. And I'm going to use the Circle Quilt die because I want something that's going to be the focus of my background. So you're going to see that I'm going to, once I have attach the washi tape to the paper, I'm going to align the die so that I have that big part of purple in the center of my panel. But because I want to have it wider than the die, I'm going to make sure that when I do my first cut, one of the edges of the panel is outside of the cutting area so that I only cut on one side. You're going to see right now when I lift up the die that only one side is cut. So what I'm going to do for the second time around is I'm going to kind of extend the panel, and for this what I'm going to do again is I'm going to make sure that the die doesn't cut the center, and for that again I'm going to push the die outside of the cutting plate, and that's going to allow me to have a more of a longer I'm going to say it's going to be 1.5 times what the die looks like. So it's going to create a larger rectangle, and you're going to see it right now, and you're going to see that I'm taking care of taking some of the pieces that come off, the negative pieces, but I'm going to leave some because I really like that distressed look. It's going to bring some of the purple, and I want to use purple in this layer. So you're going to see that I put this really soft lavender color for my background, and I have an idea what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Altenew Obsidian pigment ink to stamp a few of the flowers onto heavy white cardstock. And I'm using heavy white cardstock because I don't want to, not because I don't want to use watercolor. I want the whiteness of the paper to show on the background. And I'm using actually this cardstock is from I think I'm using Vicky Boutin for this, and I'm just gonna stamp them with the black obsidian ink. I stamped 2 of them, 2 of each image, and I went ahead and cut them with the coordinating die outside of the camera, and then I'm gonna come back to show you how I color. Now because I'm using that purple, I wanted something that was gonna contrast and complement this really nicely, so I thought teal will be the perfect complement. Is going to make them stand out. I want the flowers to be, even though the background has a lot of graphic design, I want the flowers to stand out. So I'm going to use the watercolor pen set from Altenew, and this actually has been already restocked in the shop, so if you like it, I've highly recommended. Really good high artistic pigment, so it's really nice to work with. So all I'm doing is I mix some of the colors of the pen set to create a nice soft teal, and all I'm doing is using a watered down color of, I'm going to say color, but it's watercolor, just to add like a soft base to the entire flower. So I'm thinking like a color wash of teal to the entire flower. Now with the same color, I'm just going to be carefully add a little bit extra pigment to the areas where the petals meet or at the base of the petals. And that's just going to start creating a little bit of the definition and adding shading to the flower. Once I'm already happy what that looks like, I'm going to go ahead and start bringing more of the teal pigment just to accent those areas. I want to add some shading. I want to add some definition, some dimension just by adding color. So you're going to see that I'm slowly just going around the areas, around the edges of the petals. I'm just going to add the dimensions, going to add the definition, and I'm going to be careful to kind of highlight every single area without touching the other flower, because I'm going to use a totally different color for that. So you're going to see that I'm just adding a little bit of pigment, getting a little bit darker as I go, adding more of a blue tone just to bring a little bit of more of the dark shade into it, and that's just going to help me define the flower and also create the dimension in this flat flower that I stamped. So once I created my teal flowers, and I did in each set of the images that this stamp has, the Precious Peony, there's actually 2 flowers in each one of them. So I colored one of them in teal and set them all to dry, and then I came back with the purples, and you're gonna see that I'm gonna use the purples to color the next flower. And again, I'm following the same method. I'm gonna create a wash of the purple and just gonna color the entire flower with it. Once I have colored the entire flower, I'm gonna go ahead and add some more pigment and just go and start defining some of the areas. I really love the fact that watercolor is not a method, but it's a form of watercoloring that can help you add dimension and also create shading just by adding a little bit extra pigment. And especially the Altenew pan sets are amazing with that. So I'm just going to take my time. I might go out of the camera just because I keep going and working on them. So you're going to see I'm coming back. I've created all my flowers, and I'm going to go ahead and start kind of detailing the buds in the same fashion. The only thing that I did with the buds is if I had a teal rose on the right hand side of the image, I make sure that the buds that were on that side of the image were also teal, and the vice versa. So that kind of I can combine the two colors. I didn't want to combine them, not make it cohesive by having purple buds next to the teal. So I keep that in mind, and you're gonna see that I'm gonna follow the same idea. I'm gonna create a watercolor wash for the bud. And then I'm going to go in with more pigment just to define the areas that I want to give shading and I want to give more definition. Once I have that in place, I'm going to come in with some of the green, and I'm going to follow the same method for the leaves. I'm going to give them a quick wash. And I think I'm using mostly pearl for the leaves. I wanted something really soft. And then I'm going to actually come in with a darker green just to accent some of the areas, kind of add a little bit of shading. But this went... I'm not gonna say it went fast. It did take some time to create all this definition. I enjoy watercoloring. It's something that I still need lots of practice with, but I enjoy, and I think with time it will get better. Also, I hope. But again, I hope you take some time to practice. In this case, Altenew, especially this flower, the Precious Peony, is a great place to practice your watercoloring, to get creative, because like I said, it's only the outline of the image, so you can use any medium to color, and I'm pretty sure they're all gonna turn out beautiful. So you're gonna see I'm just gonna finish, and I'm gonna make sure that I set everything aside to dry completely before I go and start building my layout. So again, I'm gonna go off camera and just kind of color everything but one of the flowers. I just thought that I didn't need that many, and I'm glad that I didn't, because I'm going to actually use the black and white image to complete my layout. So once I am done with that, you're going to see that I'm going to show you what I did. I'm going to start building my layout. And the first thing is I'm going to start adding foam adhesive behind that panel that I created with the Circle Quilt die. And when I was putting it down, I really love the fact that some of the negative pieces were still stuck to the die cut piece. So my choice is you're gonna see that I'm gonna be carefully start adding foam adhesive behind those areas to keep them in place, and then I'm gonna glue it on the side of my page. I love the fact that it's showing this stress. It still shows the image of the quilt behind it, but it shows areas with more pigmented, and I really love that. After that, I'm bringing, I believe this is the Summer Watercolor 6x6 paper pad, and I'm choosing that teal color just because I want to pick on the teal, the color from the teal flowers that I use. You're going to see again, I'm going to back my picture with it. I'm going to take it off camera, trim it. I added some foam adhesive behind it, and I'm going to glue it. I'm going to sit at the bottom left corner of my panel. So I'm going for a diagonal design for this. Once I have my picture in place, it's going to take no time to put this together. You're going to see that even though I'm going to say out of the 6 flowers, I color 5 of them. I'm going to start playing with the idea that I have. And like I said, my idea is going to be a diagonal design. So I'm going to place one of the clusters of flowers right at the top of the page, and then I'm going to bring the one, I already placed the other one. I have an idea where it's going to go. I'm going to make sure that it's at the bottom left corner of the picture, and I'm just going to make sure that when I put my flower, it doesn't cover any of the faces of either my daughter or my dog. Once I have that in place, I'm actually going to cut the little semi-wreath that the stamp set comes with. I think I want to bulk up this little cluster. I don't want to add a third cluster of flowers, but I want to bulk up this one just because I think I don't want to take away from the background that I created, but I think I need something heavy enough to balance the die cut piece and the flowers. So I just cut the wreath in half, and I'm gonna again add the purple flowers on top of the purple flowers and the blue ones behind it. Once I have that in place, you're gonna see that I play with some ideas. I had some leaves stamped from the weekend doodle stamp set, and I played with them, didn't like them, and like I said, there was one image that I didn't color from the Precious Peony, again the half wreath you can call it. So what I'm doing is I'm just cutting the little what do you call them? The stems that are coming out of the wreath, kind of the little branches, and I'm just gonna cut those. And when I put them to the little cluster of the two flowers, it actually worked really nice, and it kind of gave the movement, and it framed the die cut piece really nice. So I thought that was perfect for that. Now you're gonna see that I'm gonna bring, this is from the wood veneer collection from Altenew, and I really have the word friends, and I wanted to stand out, and I wanted to pick up some of the gold that the die has. So all I'm gonna do, you're gonna see, I'm gonna use one of the gold ink, the pigment ink from Altenew, just to stamp it on top of the wood, and it's gonna pick up the gold. And I make sure that I set it aside to dry completely before I put it on the panel. And all I did is just kind of pat the stamp, the ink pad, sorry, on top of the wood veneer, and I just picked up the color, make sure it dried completely before I attach it to my background. Now, and then I just brought some letters from my stash, just to add a few more to complete my title. Then I'm going to bring some of the hearts also from the same wood veneer set, and I'm going to follow the same idea of adding some gold by using the gold ink, the pigment ink from Altenew. And I'm just going to cluster some of the hearts around the title and another one to the side of the picture. And then I'm just bringing a few typewriting words just to add a few sentiments around the page, and that's about it. I think I added a few enamel dots, a few of the Altenew gray, I think it's Moonrock Altenews from their enamel sets, and also a few gold ones, just because I wanted to bring, like I said, continue that gold look that I'm going throughout the page. After that, I added my lines of journal right underneath the die cut panel next to the picture. There was a little spot, and I just wrote really small around the area, and that's about it. I love how this turned out. I love the color combination, the simplicity of it. I love the fact that the flowers are kind of defining the area where everything is working. I love the contrast of the background, like having that quilt, kind of distressed look with a little vein of gold running through it, and love the color combination. I hope you try it. As always, if you have any questions or how this came together, please don't hesitate to contact me. I would love to give you a hand. Make sure you check the Precious Peony stamp set. It's beautiful, and like I said, you can apply different methods of coloring to actually bring it to life. As always, make sure you check Altenew for all the products that were used here, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There's a lot of content being added to the channel that I think you'll enjoy. Thank you so much for joining me today. Bye-bye.